before we get into the list, I just want to say right off the bat that these are not games that are exclusive to the Switch. These are all games that have released on Switch. So some of them might not be from Nintendo, some are multiple years old, some are remakes, remasters. These are just my top 10 Nintendo Switch games. These are the ones I recommend the most to people, and the ones I truly, thoroughly loved the most, and the ones I play the most regularly on my Switch. Now let's stop wasting time and just jump right in with number 10, being Pokemon Legends of Arceus. This game came out in a really weird time for me because I just stopped really enjoying Pokemon, and I just really felt burned after so many really bad Pokemon games, especially with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. While mechanically it's an awesome fun game, it's traditional Pokemon, but my biggest problem with it was that it was just so ugly to look at, and it was really disappointing because I was really hoping for like a really good remake, and I was just so disappointed. I didn't like the chibi, just stretched out wide look to these characters, and it was kind of disappointing. And so I just overall was just very disappointed with Pokemon at the time. But Legends of Arceus gave me that joy again. Just like, this is what Pokemon could be, and I really hope that they continue with this concept because it is so fun. But my one critique with the game, it was really short. Probably the shortest experience I've ever had with a Pokemon game. And the whole game took me like 15 hours. On average, all the other Pokemon games take me around 25 hours to complete because I like, catching, gotta catch them all. I like being able to have a good team, really spend time leveling up, typically be very over leveled for the Elite Four. And I just usually have, spend quite a bit more time in these in Pokemon games. But with Legends of Arceus, it was a relatively shorter experience, but for how much different it was, I think it was worth the trade-off. This was such a noticeably different experience compared to any previous Pokemon games. It was just so fun being able to jump into a new world, basically, and being able to just jump in and have the traditional Pokemon experience in a new way. Because like, even with the art style of the games, with the character models, it felt like Pokemon. But compared to something like how Legends of Arceus, compare Legends of Arceus to something like Scarlet and Violet. To me, looking at the visually in the art style for it, just doesn't feel like Pokemon. So playing Legends of Arceus was just amazing, and it was a very hopeful, idyllic, sense of playing this game. Like, maybe we'll be able to go back to good Pokemon games. Maybe get and start, really trying to work on making a game that isn't just terrible. On to number 9. Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This was a very fun game, and I never really played the original because I didn't personally own the Wii U I played on, so I didn't really have any incentive to buy any games. So I basically just had whatever was, my relative had. So I basically didn't get to experience the vast majority of the Wii U's library. But one of the games that they did have was Super Mario 3D World, and I loved it so much. And I always wanted, one of the main reasons why I wanted a Wii U, but I never did because my parents said no. But the main reason why I wanted a Wii U was for Super Mario 3D World. It was just so fun. My favorite game on the 3DS was Super Mario 3D Land, and being able to play a home console version of the game was just amazing. It was such a stunningly beautiful game, except for one spot where the ocean just looks like the same texture over and over again, and the graphical pop-in on that one stage where it's like really flat, that was really bad, and I was really confused why, but that's neither here nor there. But it was just overall some of just premium Nintendo platforming. I really loved the, more open-endedness to the world map too, being able to just run around, find little secrets, It was so fun, and seeing it come to the Switch with this whole new extra area with Bowser's Fury was so cool. And it's that kind of Nintendo, edge to things that really makes them different compared to a lot of their gaming companies. And so playing this again for this second time, now owning it for myself, being able to actually beat the game and complete it, was amazing. This game, I love that they increased the speed. This is one of the many games I recommend to people who are just buying a Switch now. And so like when my uncle bought his Switch for Super Mario RPG when that comes out, I told him get Super Mario 3D World. You'll love it. It's Mario 64 but a little bit more linear, more like the new Super games in terms of level design, but with that 3D Mario, spice to it. So I highly recommend this for any new Nintendo Switch buyers and anybody who just needs a new 3D platformer. This game is really fun. There's a lot of content here, and being able to play with the whole family is even better. It's truly a super fun experience and deserves its place in my top 10 list. Number 8. I've talked about this game before. If you saw my most played Nintendo Switch games video, you'll know that I have talked about this game a lot. And that game being Dark Souls Remastered. And this is one of those games where I feel like people are going to judge me for putting it on my top 10 Nintendo Switch games list. But like I've said before, this is a game, this is a list full of games that are on the Switch, not exclusive or only from Nintendo. So Dark Souls makes the list. It is the only way, it's not the only way, but the main way I played Dark Souls Remastered. And it is just so cool just having this on portable mode. Like, whenever you were a kid and you played a game back in 2011, isn't it your dream to always have take that game on the go? Well, my dream was realized back in 2012 or something, or 11, when I first played Dark Souls 1. I always wanted to take it with me. I was like, I wish I could have this game on my PSP. It's so cool. Like, I always wanted this game on the go, and being able to finally take it on the go was so cool. And it was just such an exciting experience. Sure, graphically and performance-wise, it's more similar to the original compared to some of the other remasters on PC and on the other consoles. It's just so cool to have it on Switch, and if you're into it, those kinds of games, or if you're looking for something new, I highly recommend it. This game is so fun. It was so cool being able to jump back into Lordran, go and see Anor Londo for the first time again on Switch. It was just so, it's just so cool. I'm so happy that this game came to Nintendo Switch. I was so shocked because this is a franchise I never thought that would make the jump to Nintendo platforms because they've never done it before. There's precedent to put FromSoft games on Xbox with, their whole Armored Core being on both PlayStation, Xbox platforms back in the day, and with Demon Souls and stuff being on PlayStation, and Dark Souls moving over to other, consoles like the Xbox and stuff. So there's a track record of FromSoft putting their games on other systems, just never on a Nintendo system to my knowledge. So seeing that Dark Souls finally made the jump was so exciting, and really gives me hope for future FromSoft games coming to the Switch. So while this isn't necessarily a game for everybody, this game is for me, and it makes my top 10 list because it was just such a momentous occasion for me, a childhood dream finally coming true. Number 7 might not be a very controversial pick, being Super Mario 3D AllStars, but it also is kind of cheating considering the fact that it's 3 games in 1. So, my list, my rules, so screw you. And that being the case, I thoroughly recommend this game also. It was just such a tremendous value at the time, but the one little thing you got to worry about is not being able to purchase it digitally or physically anymore. Unless you go to GameStop or you're like Best Buy and you see one of the many copies of this game rotting on their shelves. For some reason, every time I go into a GameStop, I see this game on their shelf for new and used. Go to Best Buy, still see a couple of them lying around. So it really does feel like when Nintendo intentionally made this a limited time release, that they really forced everybody who may even want to touch this game to buy it because they didn't want to have to pay the exorbitant prices that they would have to, like 3 years from now. So if you can find a copy of this game, definitely go for it. It is such an easy recommendation. This is another game that my uncle picked up when he bought his Switch for Mario RPG this October. And just being able to play, Mario 64 in, Galaxy and Sunshine. Sunshine for the first time for many people, because the GameCube did very poorly. And I actually did grow up with GameCube, didn't have Sunshine. And so it was my first time playing Sunshine, and it's okay. But Galaxy was amazing, and 64 is okay, so hey, 2 out of 3 ratio for games in a collection is pretty good. And I highly recommend this whole collection. Even if you're only a fan of one of these games, it's worth the sticker price. The only critiques I could have, minus the whole limited release thing, the motion controls feel a little bit janky, and that's about it. Like, Mario 64 could have used a bit more of, sprucing up, but again, that's just, a nitpick. And aside from that, it's a pretty flawless release, and I'm pretty happy overall with the experience and what Nintendo delivered with this one. Frankly, I do believe it could have been better, but I'm happy with what we have, and I do highly recommend this game. Now, this is a game that I was bullied to put on this list by my brother. He loves Metroid, and I got bullied into putting this game on the list, even though I haven't played it. So, to quote him, it is a solid game, and it deserves to be on the list. I swear to God, if you don't put it on the list, I will end you. So this is for him. He loves the game. I can definitely see the appeal, but I didn't really want to buy it. But I hear this game is fantastic, and I definitely like to see these games, more Metroid games come out. And it being the most successful Metroid game ever at all, selling more than 3 million units in a year, is truly amazing. And I'm so happy this game is doing well, because I'm more excited about the Prime games, and I really hope that this did encourage Nintendo to keep focusing in developing Metroid Prime 4, even though they're not the ones directly making it. It's Retro whatever that company is, Retro something. And I'm just hoping that this game did encourage Nintendo to, put a bit more pressure, maybe a bit more focus on Metroid going forward. And definitely, hopefully, maybe we'll get more, 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania games from Nintendo going forward. Not much to say on this one, because, didn't play it, but this one's for my brother, so hope you enjoy this game. On to a very interesting pick for number 5, Breath of the Wild. I did play this game, and it's amazing. It genuinely is amazing, but I just never been a big Zelda guy. I didn't really like Ocarina of Time on the N64. I thought the remake on the 3DS was pretty okay. Didn't finish it either time. It just felt too kind of boring for me, Ocarina of Time. And I didn't like Skyward Sword. Twilight Princess was a banger. That was one of the few Zelda games that I really liked, but they didn't really continue with that style, So I didn't really like a lot of the Zelda games for a long time. But when Breath of the Wild came out, when the Switch came out, it was just a momentous occasion. The longest stretch between Zelda games ever. And to get Breath of the Wild at the beginning of the generation for the Switch was just a touchstone for me. This game was amazing. Nothing like it I have ever played before. It was just so uniquely Nintendo, so fun, and it's such a brilliant designed game, though I have my problems with it. Mainly weapon breaking and durability. I'm not saying weapons shouldn't break. I'm saying when they break, they shouldn't just, delete themselves. I would like to repair them and to keep using them, because it is so annoying when I find a specific weapon that I like and I have to grind a certain enemy to get a bunch of them because I really like that weapon. Just because if it breaks, I'll never get another. It just doesn't go back to my inventory. It just deletes itself. That was my main problem with the game. That's basically why it ended up at number 5. Even though I love this game to bits, it was the first Zelda game that I could say that I truly loved. So I truly did like it, but weapon breaking was just so annoying. And the fact that you can beat the game in like 20 minutes or like less just by going directly to Ganon, I thought it was, yeah, sure, very good for like if you want to do that. But it's just like, I was like, that's fucking stupid. And you miss so much of the game doing that. So I was like, I didn't do that ever, but like it was just interesting that you could. And so I thought that was an okay thing, but this game is fantastic and I do highly recommend it, but it's just not my number. It's not the game I usually look for, you know, when I look for a Nintendo Switch game. I don't go, Breath of the Wild. I usually go for something more platformy. As we carry on, you'll notice that, or seeing the rest of the previous bits of this list, that truly might be the case. But carrying on, number 4, Terraria. Again, if you saw my most played Nintendo Switch games list, you know why this is here. I played it a lot, and I highly recommend this game to people who are bored of Minecraft and who are looking for something new, something different. And I really do enjoy this game. There's not much to say about it. It's Terraria. It's that same, you know, side-scrolling Minecraft goodness, pixel art that we've all enjoyed for 10 years now. So if you haven't played Terraria, give it a shot. It's like $14. If you don't like it, return it. It is just such an amazing game, especially because of how cheap it is. You can play it on literally anything. I don't care if you buy it on the Switch. Then yeah, sure, the version I play a lot is the Switch version, but if you don't have a Switch, you don't have to play it on Switch. You could go play it on your computer, your phone, your Xbox, your PlayStation. It's on anything. Go play Terraria. It's fucking fantastic. Go play it. Stop watching this video. Go play Terraria, okay? It's so much fun. I play it all the time with my friends. It's a truly amazing experience, and it was so amazing when it dropped on Switch because it was just another reason for me to pick it up and buy it and play it again. Moving on. Okay, number 3, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Probably the best-selling video game of all time. I have no proof of that, but I believe it is at this point because of how many times this game appears in like the number 1 best-selling games of the month list thing, and it is just amazing. It's pure perfection for Mario Kart racing. It's a bit unbalanced, sure, especially if you're in first place then you just get hit by 4 blue shells. It can be bullshit, but I have so many fond memories attached to this game. I never played online. That's not my jam. I do not care to play this game online, but you know what I did love to do? Playing this game with my family. Sitting down around the TV after dinner, after, you know, Friday game night pizza and deal, just sitting around the TV and playing Mario Kart. I have so many fond family memories of this game and just being able to just zoom around, and it also helps when you destroy everyone. You sandbag your way from like 8th to 1st place just because you don't want to deal with their bullshit, and you just destroy them and they never want to play with you again, but they have to anyways because you're the only one who, you know, has Mario Kart 8, so they have to invite you. So it's amazing. I'm a menace is what I'm saying, and Mario Kart 8 is the perfect, you know, method for me to mess with people, because I can just like, oh no, I'm losing, I'm in 8th place, you're gonna destroy me, and then just zip zop zoop all the way to the top after sandbagging, just, you know, keister a freaking blue shell just to screw with them, or hold on to an item for dear life to protect my butt from a red shell or something. It is just so much fun to play with the family. I never really played it by myself because that's really, really boring, but playing with my family was the thing I did the most with this game, and I have so many fond memories of this game with my family. It was just so amazing, and if you have kids, or if you have a lot of friends, or if you have roommates that you can play, you know, video games with, I highly recommend Mario Kart 8. You probably already own Mario Kart 8 if you own a Switch, Everybody owns Mario Kart. So this probably is a no-brainer, okay? Especially with Nintendo announcing a new Mario Kart 8 bundle. Go pick it up if you don't have already a Switch. Go buy it. It's amazing, and I just can't help but recommend this game to everybody I meet. It's amazing, and you probably already know that. Number 2 is Super Mario Odyssey. As I mentioned before, I have always been more of a 2D platformer kind of guy. And Super Mario Odyssey, obviously not a 2D platformer, it's a 3D platformer, is fucking amazing. Honestly, one of the best platformers of all time, and one of the first games I always recommend to people. And I'll be honest, the day I got this game, I was very sick. I got it Christmas 2017, I believe, or 2018. I don't remember. The year this game came out, I got it for Christmas that year. And that Christmas, I threw up a lot because of food poisoning, and my brother threw up all over the kitchen. I thankfully made it to a bathroom because I'm a gentleman, and I decided to just hurl my guts into the toilet, and then I walked back out. I was like, I am very sick. Can we please wrap this up? And they handed me my last few presents, and I opened the last one, and lo and behold, it was Super Mario Odyssey. And I was so ecstatic, but I was so dead inside. So what I did was I said, thank you so much. I wish I could be more emotive. And then I crawled my way back to my bedroom to die. I slept for like 3 hours. I woke up and I booted up my Switch for the first time, because this was also the same Christmas I got my Switch. I booted up my Switch, put it into the dock at my TV, set it up. I was dying the whole time. And the first game I played was Mario Odyssey. And it was an experience I will never forget, because this game is just perfection. One of the funnest, absolute joyrides of a Mario game I've ever had. And I will never not sing this game's praises. It just feels, the controls are so tight, so perfect. Every jump, every trick you do flows so well together. And I'll be honest, I never really liked Cappy. I thought Cappy was dumb. But the things he enabled you to do was amazing. Being able to spin your hat and, jump on it. It was so mechanically interesting. I just really didn't like the fact that he had to be sentient. It was weird. It was really weird to me. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the fugue state of fever dream I was. And I was just like, whoa, that hat's fucking talking. Hats don't talk, man. Hats don't talk. But that's just me. I never really personally cared about Hattie that much. But that didn't detract from the overall experience. The first time I saw Bowser's Kingdom, it was just beautiful. Graphically stunning. And I was shocked. This little $300 Android tablet can produce visuals this good. And I truly think this is one of the best Nintendo Switch games of all time. But there was one game that kept it out of the #1 spot. And you probably have a few guesses. So let's carry on. Number 1. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You probably saw this one coming from a mile away. I am a major Smash Bros. Fan. Have been for a very, very long time. And truly, I can't say more good things about this game. You need to go buy it for yourself. And the reason why it made the #1 spot on this, just because of the memories I have of playing this game. I went to a different style of school called Gateway to College. And so I and my friends had a lot of free time. So basically, instead of, your average every in between classes in high school, you have like 7 minutes to get the other one for passing. This kind of school, teachers came to you. So you never had to leave the classroom. So you basically always had upwards to like a 15-minute break in between classes. And we had like a 45, 50-minute lunch. It was amazing. And I brought my Switch with me. because they were chill with that. They said it was okay as long as I don't play it during class. And I was like, sweet. It got crazy because some kid brought like a proper TV and PS4 with them every day to school to play during lunch to grind Rainbow Six Siege. That was insane. Just a side note, that was fucking insane. Back to Smash Brothers though. I would bring my Switch to school, and during our lunches, during our breaks, in between classes, me and my friends would play Smash Brothers Ultimate. And we all had our mains. There was 5 of us who were playing, I think. It was chaos every time. And I just have so many fond memories of me and my friends playing these games. It's just such a, snapshot of time, Looking at the past games I recorded, looking at the game's histories, it's just such a snapshot of my time in high school. A time I was really happy. A time where I was finally making, new friends. And it was all thanks to Smash Brothers, because one day I brought my Switch to school, turned it on, and somebody came up to me and said, "What you playing?" And it's all thanks to Smash Brothers being able to say, "Hey, you want to play?" And that's how it all started, just being soon a crowd formed, soon the whole class would be sitting behind us, watching us scream at a little Nintendo Switch screen. By the way, we would play this entirely in portable mode. Imagine 5 little guys running around on the screen trying to see, and it was just such a snapshot of time for me, and being able to look back on that with so many fond memories really changed my high school experience. And I think it helped me make a lot of new friends and a lot of long-standing friendships that it deserves this #1 spot. It truly has changed my life, and I can't recommend this game more, especially because there's rumors of a new character pass, and a bunch of new characters coming to Smash, potentially rumors. So if you weren't convinced by that super heartfelt emotional speech before, there's new characters coming soon, so better start playing now. So, what did you think of the list? Is there any games that you would put on this list instead? Any games you recommend for me to try out to maybe change the ranking order on this? I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. I, always read them, reply and stuff. Thanks for all the support on recent videos, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that other social media garbage down below. And don't forget, have a wonderful day.